Hi there guys, it's Aaron here from Console Deals, back again with another unboxing video for you to cap off your week, or at least start your week with a relatively big bang, because if you're a gamer that is constantly on the lookout for a decent wireless headset solution that doesn't break the bank, and you own a PS4 or maybe you've made the jump to PS5, then you're going to want to pay attention to this video. I've even worn my PlayStation top, don't know if you can see that, especially for the occasion. So what are we unboxing today? Well, it is none other than the TX70 wireless RF stereo gaming headset from our friends over at Gioteck. They sent this one over to us relatively recently. We've obviously unboxed Gioteck headsets before on the channel. I believe it was the TX50. But why I'm really excited about this one is because obviously it's wireless, and wireless headsets are a must for me, specifically if they can achieve the ultra low latency that they often, so heavily boast about on top of the box. So I'm going to share some thoughts. I've been using it with a couple of games on my PS5, so we know for definite that it works there. But before I dive into my deep impressions, let's kick straight off with the unboxing. Who, me? Like this? Oh, okay then, I guess we better get on with it. This is what the TX70 looks like outside of the box, so fairly standard packaging, all nicely presented with the main features and a little introduction listed on the back. I also like that they've broken out the dongle there, so you know that you're never going to mistake this wireless headset for being Bluetooth. It is connected via a 2.4 gigahertz wireless connection via USB, and it does an excellent job, as we'll discuss more about later. But yeah, I would say, you get points in my book if the box is relatively easy to open, which this one is. Just going to pull it out here, and as you can see, it fits in nice and snug, so there will never be any damage. So taking the headset itself out, I'll instantly tell you that it's definitely one of the lighter headsets I've ever used. And then we'll just take a quick deep dive into all the other bits and pieces you get. So I'll bring it over here. So first of all, you've got the 3.5mm braided cable. So that is to work with Nintendo Switch and Xbox, because it is only wireless with PlayStation consoles. And it's charging via micro USB to USB-A, which might seem a little odd. It's not USB-C, but hey, not the worst thing in the world. You've obviously got your guarantee and obviously the setup manual in there, which is fairly hefty because, it turns out there's a lot of languages in the world, but, good thing to have for sure. And the last thing we'll look at is the USB dongle, which I almost missed actually. I'll just pop out of the box, and this will light up blue whenever it establishes a connection with the headset once plugged into your PlayStation. Okay, so onto the headset itself, and you're going to notice that it's relatively simple in terms of design, just matte black all over really. It's kind of matte. It doesn't attract too many fingerprints, which I can say, but it also looks relatively shiny. So I'll take all the protective plastic off, and yeah, there's a nice size to it. You got your left and right ear cup clearly defined, and if you slide this one out, you'll find obviously this is how you extend it. It's just plastic underneath there. But you can give it a good pull, it's not going to break, and you've got the lay flat ear cup design, so it should sit comfortably on the ears, should being the operative word. I'll discuss more about that in just a second. But the headband's nice and comfy, I'll give it that. Okay, so in terms of the connection, you've got your equalizer button, volume there, and obviously mute and on and off. We're going to plug in the 3.5mm jack, but while I do that, I just think it's worth mentioning that there is no slider or volume control to distinguish between party chat and in-game chat, so you have to do that via the console itself. So like I said earlier, it's micro USB. It's, as with all new headsets, it's quite stiff at first, but once you get it in there one or two times, it should soften up a little bit. And it's a good size as well, so you plug it into the wall. Hopefully you've got a UK plug that accepts USB. Most people have these days. And then the final thing I want to show you, we'll pull out the camera a little bit, is you're probably wondering where the microphone is. Well, it's hidden away, and it's in the left ear cup, of course, just there. So obviously there's no pop filter on the end of it, but it still delivers crystal clear audio, or so my friends tell me. And then finally, because it's such a nice feature, I've got my Anker power bank here. There's a little bit of charge in there. I just want to show you what happens when the TX70 charges. So you get this quite cool LED light blue strip either side of the ear cup. A really, really nice touch. So yeah, that's the TX70 in a nutshell. So there you have it, guys, in terms of what is actually inside the box, what cables you get, sort of how it operates, where that hidden flip down microphone is exactly kept. And overall, I want to say that the TX70 is a relatively decent wireless headset. As I kind of said in my intro, if you're someone that is constantly on the lookout for a wireless solution, but you don't want to kind of go into that £100 plus price bracket, but you still want something solid, then I think the TX70 is really going to see you through. So I've got the headset obviously here, and the one thing I will say is that it's definitely relatively lightweight, but it doesn't take away from the sort of soft touch matte black smooth finish. It really is a quite stylish headset, even though it's got that sort of lay flat design with regards to the ear cups. Speaking of the ear cups, kind of the one major downfall, to get it out of the way quickly from me, is that the ear cups are relatively quite tight, specifically for my ear. I've never been told before that I've got relatively big ears, even though I can pick up Sky Movies on the things, but rarely is it that I find it's a problem with getting comfortable with a set of ear cushions. And I don't know, maybe it's just something between me and Gioteck, but I don't know what sort of molds they're using over there, but I just can't ever seem to get on exactly how I want to with the Gioteck ear cups in particular, which is a bit of a shame, because obviously the more I shift my head around, it's obviously going to feel relatively stiff at first, but I just could never get quite comfortable because the cushions themselves, you know, where your ear should sit, feel like they're constantly gripping down on my ear. And despite that, I don't think the sort of noise cancellation is the best with the TX70, but maybe that's a little bit too harsh going against it, considering that this does only retail here in the UK for $49.99. Normally with my PlayStation 5, I use the Razer Shark V2s, which you saw me unbox a couple of weeks ago now, and that is kind of like a premium tier headset, expertly locks out any outside noise, so I can keep focused on the game for longer. And maybe I am putting it, you know, on a pedestal, but it's something that the TX70 can often struggle with. However, what it succeeds at is giving you a relatively comfortable headband, being relatively lightweight, and I'm using the word relatively a lot in this review, but that is mainly because the TX70, while decent and a solid choice, doesn't particularly excel into the stratosphere anywhere in terms of, you know, the wide world of wireless gaming headsets. But having said that, it is stylish. I do like the LED blue light bar that sits above either ear cup, so when that's being charged, it'll sort of pulsate, look very atmospheric, and I think it also stays on as well when you know it's in use. You've got your flip down mic, which you would have seen in the unboxing, but I'll show you again, so you can almost miss that it's there. Obviously, from what I can tell, I've used this with Resident Evil Village, with Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War, so I have been playing with friends, and they can sort of like easily pick up what I'm saying, and I can easily hear them as well, even if I have to adjust it in the console settings, because there is no option to dictate between party chat and in-game chat on the headset itself. All you have is sort of like an equalizer button and the main volume chat, as well as the ability to mute and obviously switch off. The last thing to mention is that the TX70 is marketed specifically towards the PS5 and PS4 and PS4 Pro, weirdly the box mentions, but it does in fact work with the Xbox and Nintendo Switch, which you would have seen in the main unboxing portion of this review, because you have to use the 3.5mm braided cable. Unfortunately, it doesn't work wirelessly with consoles outside of the PlayStation ecosystem, which is kind of a recent trend and isn't something that's specifically a problem for Gioteck. It's just something to be aware of. So there you have it, guys, in terms of the TX70 wireless stereo gaming headset. Like I said, from the folks over at Gioteck, it retails for $49.99 here in the UK, and it does offer 15 hours of battery life. So once you charge it after a full 3 hours, it will see you through to, I would say, the next 2 or 3 extensive gaming sessions. So, are you interested in the TX70? If you are, let me know in the comment section below, where you'll also find the written version of my review, as well as the best possible price. But until next time, I want to thank you very much as ever for watching. Do be sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel for even more content like this. And until next time, stay safe and happy gaming!